Good morning, everybody. It's Allie, and it's Thursday, which means it's time for the tea, which you already know because you're here. So let's just get it out of the way. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, at BodyCandy is our handle on there. BodyCandy.com is our handle on Snapchat. We are also on Facebook.com/BodyCandy YouTube.com/BodyCandy and Pinterest.com/BodyCandy. I want to get right into it today. I have a bunch more questions with me this week. You guys have just been submitting so many great ones that I feel like these have been a little bit more informative. The last few weeks I maybe took a little bit more time because I was doing them a little more candidly and kind of just moving through. Today I pre-read these, so I kind of know what I want to say. I wanted to cover a few more questions for you versus just two of them. And I try to get a good mix, really looked for all the keywords that you guys know that I like to say and all the things I like to remind you of. So I'm feeling like this is just gonna be a little piercing crash course really quick. So first one was Sherry. Sherry let me know that they just got a fresh double cartilage piercing about a week ago. The tattoo/piercer, that's always a little scary to hear both, stated to clean it 3 times a day and to move it when doing so, and it is pierced with hoops. They're pretty sore tonight. When I move it, they start to bleed a little bit. The other one's difficult to move. I have swelling still too. So first and foremost, you really don't want to be moving your jewelry. I mean, you want to move it when you clean it if you feel like it. You shouldn't even need to. I started saying that. You shouldn't even need to. Cleaning it 3 times a day almost sounds like too much to me. I think 3 times a day is good if you are getting dirty, but I always do like a morning and night. That's just me. Of course, I am not a professional piercer or a doctor, so definitely consider who you're talking to in general, including me, about your advice. So I'm going to say, first of all, it's a fresh piercing. Bleeding and stuff is not abnormal for it when it's moving. And swelling is super normal as well. I also have fresh cartilage piercings and I'm still in this boat and I'm like 6 weeks out. I haven't bled at all, but I'm still like relatively, I'm not swollen in a painful way, but I can tell that it still hasn't shrunk all the way back down. Okay. Went a little longer on that one than I thought I was going to, but I did it anyway. This was from Natalie about a doth piercing that was done a year ago. It was great the first few weeks, no swelling, no pain, no discharge. Then it started doing it all the time. I started cleaning it with a bunch of stuff like tea tree oil. And then I started getting bumps. My piercer said when I asked if they could be keloids that they weren't and that they would go away. The bumps do go away and it looks normal and then they come back. Should I just take it out at this point? I have had other piercings and never had this happen. I'm going to tell you right now, for me, I think that if you are pierced by somebody and they're very dismissive, like, oh, don't worry about that bump, I would go find a different piercer. I've been there. Bumps should always be given attention and the time of day and not disregarded, because that's how you end up with a keloid potentially. It's not a keloid while it is just a fluid bump, but you don't want to let it get to that point. That being said, I did have those bumps happening on my nose and I was in the same boat. They would leave, they would come back, you'd get excited about it. And in all honesty, the first big thing I see that you're doing is tea tree oil. You shouldn't be putting tea tree oil on your piercing, and that could definitely be causing the piercing bumps, even though that seems like it shouldn't. Tea tree is very, very strong and not really meant for being on fresh piercings. So yeah, I would stop that. I would find another piercer and have them check it out. Consider having it redone, taking it out, letting it heal up. The other question is too, is if you're having a sensitivity to the jewelry you're pierced with. I don't know what material you're pierced with. Do you know? All good things to ask yourself. So that's kind of a good little addressing all the little points of that one. Moving right on in, Shelby said, I just got my Medusa piercing a week ago, which is the one that I want really bad, the Philtrum right here. She went to a shop that's advertised 2 for $25 basic facial and body piercings. Always frightening. Please don't do it. I always tell everybody this. That's like not even enough to cover your needles. A little scary. I'd been wanting it, but with COVID, it was near impossible. Long story short, Shelby got home and feels like her piercing is up too high and off center. Should I take it out and let it heal and get it re-pierced? Absolutely. I will stop right there. I don't even need to read anymore. That was the best decision I made with my nose. And that was over bumps and issues with how I was actually pierced. If you're unhappy with placement, especially in a fleshy spot like that, take it out now. Your body's going to heal it up. It's going to be gone, and you're barely going to even see that you had anything within 24 to 48 hours. And then over the course of, you heal up like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever your trusted piercer tells you. And then you get it redone, and then you'll be so much happier. Definitely, I think I remember when I was first reading this, you were saying that the piercer didn't ask you about where your placements were, like they marked her and just started piercing. That's always scary. If they start to seem like they're going to, ask for a mirror. And if they say no, leave. You can go get pierced somewhere else. All about being professional and making you comfortable is really what they should be worried about on the end of customer service. So Laurel had a question for us. Laurel got a belly button piercing back in 2016. No problems until I had to remove it for a CT scan. I only had it about 30 minutes maximum out. But when I put it back in, it turned all red and sore. I haven't been able to put it in. Do you know why? It depends on 2016. I mean, the piercing's kind of established. For some people, piercings are always a little bit finicky when it comes to taking things out. I don't know what material your belly ring is made out of. That can definitely affect it. I would suggest going to a piercer that's trusted, and they can help you address it. They'll probably re-pierce you, so there's going to be some money involved. There's going to be a charge for your needle and all that stuff. But you can get it re-pierced just to make sure you can get that belly jewelry in, depending on what the irritation is. Sometimes when I take my belly ring out, or if I've changed it a lot to take pictures in the day, it'll be very irritated, but my belly jewelry still goes in, and then it settles down overnight. I put it in a hot shower, and then by the next day I'm fine. And if I wasn't, I would go to a piercer. So I would definitely go to your piercer. 2 more. We're speeding right through. All right, Nicole has a new job. No piercings allowed on the floor. 7 face/ear piercings. They all come out every time Nicole works. Her newest piercing is around 7 years old. So they're established piercings. But as I was just saying, not everybody has the same experience, no matter how established you are. She's saying it's annoying. It's a nuisance. I take them out every shift. I love them, but I only get a few hours notice sometimes when I'm on call. They're getting irritated with constant fiddling, things like that. So couple suggestions here, Nicole. You can give them up. It sucks. You can reevaluate later. I always tell people to think about that stuff when it comes to work, because although we need work and we need jobs, if it's something you don't see yourself doing long term, are you going to be sad in a year if you're not there anymore and you've taken your jewelry out? Probably. Maybe not. I would definitely consider, I don't know if you can wear Bioplast. It's sounding like that may not be an option for you. I know some food and factories and things like that, food service, hospitals, things can get a little bit trickier. But I would consider Bioplast pieces. Also, you really could do where, if you had the Bioplast balls, wear a stud in, say you have a lip piercing. I'm not sure what all of your piercings are. But you wear your normal stud and then just swap your balls to the clear ones when you're working so that people just don't notice them. Not sure how prominent your facial piercings are, but ear ones might be a little easier to hide. That's tough. Let's talk about Bioplast, Nicole. That would be my next move for you. Specifically the balls. Like I said, if you need help, reach out to me on social media. You can send a DM to Facebook and say, Allie offered to help me with my jewelry, or Instagram, anything like that. We can probably get you set up. But yeah, some piercings are also super annoyed by the fact that when you keep touching them. I hope that you're changing your jewelry or taking it in and out in a hot shower. That will definitely help. Making sure everything's clean, nice and loose skin, all the best things. Last question, and then we're going to get the heck out of here, and I will see everybody for Facebook Live tomorrow. Kristen got a belly button ring 3 months ago. I decided to change it, and I was just wondering how to tell if the new jewelry is too small. The answer to that is you shouldn't know either way, because you shouldn't be piercing or changing your jewelry that quickly. And I've actually already responded to most of these people. That was pretty much all I said, and I did not mean to be blunt about it, but it was the truest answer. 3 months, not long enough for changing belly jewelry. Making sure when you're getting your piercings that you're asking your piercer about heal times is so important. Belly rings can take 8 months to a year to heal. You really don't want to change your jewelry. It hinders your healing process. It's not good for your body. Just don't do it. All right. I hope that that was all interesting questions. They were a little all over the place, different piercings, different situations, all the stuff that I like to remind you of. Trust your piercer, love your piercer, tip your piercer, be nice to them, ask them questions. And above all else, don't go to a bad piercer. All right, I'll see everybody tomorrow for Facebook Live at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or next week for the tea. All right, bye.